was going to come on and talk about some exercises that you can do, especially if you've been sitting for long periods at your workstation at home. So hopefully you got some help out of the ergonomic setup in terms of your laptop and your positioning things and standing working. The biggest thing I would probably say and advise is these exercises can help, certainly if you've been sitting for long periods, but if you can, try and keep remembering the primary big thing I could probably recommend is to try and get up and move, so you're not really trying to sit for too much longer than 45 minutes to an hour. Doesn't have to be a massive break away from your table, or if you're focused on a task, it's just really trying to change postures as much as you can. Alright, so these exercises that I'll come on to now will help a little bit, especially with targeting your whole spine up towards your neck, okay, because things will maybe get a little bit stiff over the weeks and months ahead. So a nice way to maybe just remember things and follow things through is to start from the neck, work your way to your shoulders, your middle back, and then your lower back. And some of these, which I'll show you now, can all be done sitting at your desk in a chair. Okay, so just to begin with, you're sitting in your chair, you may be starting to feel a little bit tight around the neck or your back itself. Maybe you have got up and had a walk around and you're still maybe feeling things a little bit, or at the end of the day. So I would just maybe start with the neck, and maybe so often, even if you work, and if you can, just start with the neck and look at rotations of the head. So because the head is straight ahead a lot of the time, and maybe getting a little bit dropped forwards, we want to try and move the neck and give the muscles a stretch around the neck. Okay, so a nice way to start off is just to turn the head to the right if you're sitting up nice and tall. So look as far as your head can to the right. You can use your opposite hand on the side of your cheek to just give a little bit of a gentle overpressure, or a little bit of an extra push, just to make it feel tight but comfortable. Okay, if you can breathe relaxed for about 10 seconds, come back across to the middle, take it across to the left, the opposite side, sitting up nice and tall. Rotate your head as far as you can, looking to the left, keeping your shoulders straight ahead. A little bit of an overpressure using the right side of your hand to push across for about 10 seconds. Coming back to the middle, if you can, again, sitting up nice and tall, is just looking up to the ceiling, okay? Breathing relaxed if you can. Taking the head forwards, chin down to your chest. Coming back so you're looking straight ahead. And particularly for the side parts of your neck, those where we want to kind of grab around here, those can get quite tense as well through the day. So if you can, use your hand, try and grip on the chair, hold on to your chair if you can, and try to drop your ear to the shoulder. So take your left ear towards your left shoulder by side bending your neck. Again, try and breathe relaxed for about 10 seconds if you can. Coming back to the middle, looking straight ahead. This time, change the hand, so your left hand is holding onto the left side of your chair, and then just drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, so you're side bending for 10 seconds. I'll show you that from the side. So if I'm facing, so you can face your desk, so facing forward as well. So if with your neck, that would be the looking up movement we've done for 10. We've done down for 10. We've done a rotation across to the left with an overpressure. And we've gone across to the right for 10 seconds, using your hand to knit for 10 seconds and coming back. The side bending moves we've just done, showing you the other way. Hold onto the chair, so the right hand hold onto the side of the chair. Drop the left ear towards your left shoulder, so you should feel these muscles here getting a nice stretch through this part of the neck. And then you would come back and you would drop to the opposite side, right ear to your right shoulder, left hand holding onto the chair just for a grip. And that just stops the shoulder from lifting up if you can. So you're holding onto the chair, it stops the shoulder lifting up. So it allows this muscle here across the neck just to get a nice stretch for about 10 seconds if you can. And coming back to the middle. Okay, so you've done your neck muscles, coming down to the shoulders, because we get a little bit sucked forwards and a bit tight through the chest. So I would just start with placing your palms of your hands just on top of your shoulders, and see if you can just rotate your shoulder blades forwards and backwards, yeah? Circles if you can. So try and go small circles to begin with. Breathe and relaxed, remember, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And you can go a little bit bigger. So when I go back anti-clockwise, I'm making the shoulder blades come around and together. So I can circle here, bigger circles, and I can come forwards, lifting the shoulders, rotating them round, okay? So it's the same movement if you were to do this from shrugging the shoulders up and forwards, or shrugging them up and bringing them backwards so it feels like your shoulder blades are pinching together, okay? So those again, just think of nice and easy, 10 seconds if you can. Either here, rotating backwards, rotating forwards, or if you can, hands on your lap and just shrugging them forwards, shrugging them backwards, anti-clockwise and clockwise. Again, looking at your shoulder blades and around that upper neck, which get quite tight in sitting. This is also a good one as well to get the shoulders to lift and move. So again, in sitting, just clasp your hands together. See if you can just bring them both up in front, if you can. Big stretch up. Bring them forward. And now see if you can pull your shoulder blades forwards if you can. So I'll show you that from the side as well. So all I've done here is clasp the hands and I've just lifted them up. So I'm sitting up nice and tall, big reach up. So the palms are going up towards the ceiling. Yeah. Just see if you can really big reach up. If that's too much, if it feels like it's pulling too much, you don't have to really force it. Just make it feel tight but comfortable. Okay. Breathe relaxed. Bring them forward. Palms again. Clasped hands. See if you can bring the shoulder blades as a reach forwards. So that's making your shoulder blades come forwards a little bit. Breathe and relaxed. And you can go from here all the way up as well. So my feet are staying in contact with the floor. I'm just reaching up in that action. And I can flow back around. Okay. And each exercise, as I've done with the neck and doing these movements, can all be repeated 2 or 3 times, okay? So we've done the neck, we've done some shoulder movements. Now your middle back gets quite stiff as well when you're sitting. So a nice way to do that. Remember your rolled up towel or your lumbar roll we talked about in the ergonomic setup. So what I would do with that is you could start with it in the lower back where you've had it before, which is quite nice for sitting upright, and then we're going to move it up a little bit. So it's in the lower back, you sit up nice and tall, place your hands around the back of your head and have your elbows, you can have your elbows pointing outwards or you can have them forwards. I'll show you with them out. So all I'm look to do is to feel like I'm arching backwards from the spine. So I'm just easing backwards. The head is staying still in the back of my hands, but I'm just arching the spine back and just holding where it feels tight but comfortable for 10 seconds and then coming back. Okay, I can repeat it again, so maybe try it in a couple of different positions, a couple of different times if you can, and coming back. And then if I want to target further up the back, I move that rolled up towel now, sit right back against your chair this time and have it pressed. Feel like that's now rolled up a bit higher. Now the same movement if you have your hands here and then with your back firmly in the back of the chair, arms here or arms out. Again, try to feel like you were tipping backwards, arching backwards so you get a nice stretch through the middle part of the back. That feels really quite nice if you have been doing a lot of sitting where you get kind of pulled forwards. So we're opening up the chest and we're getting a nice stretch through the middle part of the spine and then coming back. So again, roughly 10 seconds if you can. Also, because the lower back and the middle back rotates or twists, so it's quite nice if you're sitting in the chair as well, just to actually get a twisted action of your spine. So I can do that. You can leave this in if you want, or I'll show you with it out. It doesn't really make any difference for this, but what I would look to do is I would look to rotate the body, so I'm turning the body. So I'm again sitting up nice and tall in the chair, looking straight ahead. And what I'm going to do is rotate the body, so I'm turning, and I'm going to try to see if I can hold onto the chair, if I can reach it. So it's the left hand, I'm turning to the right, the left hand is just holding the chair. This hand can just relax if it likes, or it can just follow and open out. The head can follow with it if you like, but you're trying to keep your hips straight ahead in the chair. So the hips are not moving from your lower back. But I've just turned the trunk, turned your body, and when I get so far, I can use this left hand to just hold onto the chair. This hand can follow through, but I'm trying to keep the spine straight. I can follow if I want the head, and that gives a nice stretch through the middle part of the back. To repeat that the other side, coming back to the middle, keeping hips up, straight, and I've turned to the left. So I'll show you that from this angle. So I've rotated to the left. I'm using the right hand on the chair to kind of assist with turning. Yeah, so I'm opening the body and turning. Again, this time the left hand just follows, and just see if you can use this arm to just follow and open up the chest to rotate, but I'm not turning the whole body. I'm trying to keep the hips straight. And what that should do with this arm is you let this follow around, let the head follow it, is give a nice stretch through your pectoral muscles here, which get quite tight pulling forwards as well. Okay, so hopefully those will help. And last but not least, maybe targeting the lower back itself. If you're in the chair, what you can do is look to sit if you can, and just look straight ahead, and just see if you can just bend. So you're taking your hands down towards your feet. Okay, you can breathe and relaxed, and just allow, sitting forward in the chair, allow your trunk to just bend and take your hands towards your feet. Breathing relaxed, and just give yourself, just hang if you can, you know, just breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just let yourself hang through your lower part of your back. Coming back up, hands back on your lap. Almost take your hands, slide them down. You can go down towards your shins, towards your toes, if you can manage that far. And just have your feet and your legs spaced apart. Just let yourself just drop and bend through your lower back. So it should feel tight but comfortable. And breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth if you can. For about 10 seconds. And when you've done that, slowly coming back up. And that's it really, just a nice short little routine, particularly sort of sitting in the chair. What will follow this is I'll do another video just shortly, and it will include more mat work exercises. So these are more things, if you're quite happy to, is to be on the floor, could be on your carpet at home, could be on your on a gym mat if you've got one at home, and that'll just try to target a little bit of a mix of hip mobility, further spinal mobility, a little bit of adapted type yoga moves that are quite achievable, and mix in a little bit of strength work as well, without having too much equipment if you haven't got a lot of gym equipment. So hopefully those will try and help. But the biggest thing just to emphasize is if you're working from home Monday to Friday, you're doing bits through the week, and you are a little bit more sedentary and static than you would be normally through this time, is try and follow these if you can, because I think they will help, especially with sitting at dining room chairs and dining room tables and such like. Okay, so I'll see you shortly for the next video. Thank you.